What's up everyone, this is Donnie aka Elevated with another video here on behalf of Dota Alchemy, and thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the channel by watching our content. Today I wanted to talk about a concept that I'm going to coin situational awareness, and I think this is one of those really cool concepts that if you master it, you can really take your game to the next level, because it allows you to do things like take fights when you're behind in gold and turn the game around through fighting as opposed to just hoping that the other team lets you farm your way back into the game. I think that this approach of having good situational awareness and detecting weaknesses in the enemy team is a really, really important way to kind of reach that next level in Dota, because it's just so much better when you can dictate the tempo, when you can choose to be the aggressor. And when you are the aggressor in Dota, you allow the other team the opportunity to make mistakes. And if there's anything we know about Dota, it is a very mistake-prone game. So the more chances you give the other team to make mistakes, generally speaking, the better. And that's why it's really good to be the one that is dictating the pace of the game. So if we look at the scenario in this game, the other team, the Radiant team, has a 4K gold lead. They have a pretty strong lifestealer. The counterpart carry on the Dire side is this Monkey King, who's having, not so nice a game, 1, 6, and 7 with basically no farm. So he doesn't really want to be fighting, except for he kind of does want to be fighting. He's been showing up to every fight, and that's probably why he has no farm. Radiant team is quite strong right now, and they have been able to really sort of run us over in fights because they keep finding the Monkey King and bursting him down, and then it's a 5-on-4 from there. So due to the state of the game, we can see that this lifestealer is just getting aggressive. He doesn't really fear anything. He's just going to run in and kill this Bane uncontested. Grimstroke, who's me, is just respawning, and the Elder Titan is still dead, so Lifestealer is pretty happy to just run in. He has supporting cast as well. I'm going to pause it here real quick because this is where things get kind of interesting. I want you to pay attention to the information that we have. We have that Lifestealer has no Infest. He's pretty low on mana, and other than that, we can also see that Lina is making her way over there, and I believe Pangolier was also envisioned recently. We have a decent amount of information gathered, but the most important thing is to count the abilities that have been used, because really when it comes down to it, team fighting is all about resources, and those resources come in the form of health, mana, and your cooldowns. So if you don't have health, then obviously it's very hard to take a fight. If you don't have mana, it's very hard to take a fight. And if you don't have cooldowns, it's very hard to take a fight. Even if you are super far ahead, if you don't have some of those resources, especially your cooldowns or your mana, you're kind of just a creep because you don't do anything other than right-clicking. And for most heroes, that means that you basically do nothing. So if we look at this scenario, we can now see that Lifestealer has used quite a bit of his resources. Winter Wyvern has used Winter's Curse to set up this kill on the Monkey King. And we're going to see Legion Commander jump over and use Duel. So that's the really important point right there, because now there is no Duel, which is their hard lockdown. Now there's no Winter's Curse, another piece of hard lockdown, and Lifestealer is quite low in terms of his health and mana. Lina has also revealed exactly where she is, and we also know where Pangolier is because he's just running up in vision. So we have vision of all 5 heroes, and we know that 2 of their big ultimates are gone, and really the Lifestealer is nothing more than a glorified creep. Sure, Radiance Burn does a decent amount of damage, but he doesn't have the ability to stick on anybody. He pretty much can't do anything other than just slowly right-click people down. So Elder Titan recognizes the scenario, and he charges in, hits a nice stomp here, and Pangolier makes his presence known as well. So now when Pangolier starts to roll, this is all of their ultimates, except for Laguna Blade, being committed already. And there's only 2 Dire heroes here. So it's really important to count those cooldowns. How many big abilities are available? And the answer is really none, because Laguna Blade is not that important. So we're going to go ahead and soulbind the Pangolier and also silence him. So we have now canceled Rolling Thunder for the next 7 seconds, basically, and there's not a whole lot that the other team can do. There's no counterplays. They don't have the Purge available. They don't have the ability to duel me. They don't have the ability to curse. They don't have the ability to really do anything other than just watch us kill the Lifestealer, who messes up an armlet toggle and goes down. Now, they're still stuck in the scenario, and they don't have any of their resources other than Rolling Thunder now, but he's already quite low, and because Winter Wyvern comes in to try and Cold Embrace and save the day, of course, he gets soulbound there and dies as a result. And you can see we still don't have our Monkey King, and that's okay, because we don't need him, because they don't have any abilities. So we need to run forward here. Ember Spirit does. Ember Spirit's great at doing that. And we end up catching the Pangolier and the Lina as well. So we took what was a scenario that started out as Bane dying, Monkey King dying, and won a 3-on-5 fight just by paying attention to the cooldowns that were used. So as we watch this fight again, I just want to watch it from my perspective, because you can see that I'm using my ability to gather information and paying attention to what's going on in the fight, which is allowing me to decide this is a good fight to take. This is a good opportunity for us to turn this game around, because we have all of the resources and the other team has basically none. And positioning plays an incredibly important part here. You can see that we're able to wait for the Pangolier to commit himself, then silence him up, because now we have information on all of the heroes and we're able to cancel out a really big moment for them. Counterplay is one of the strongest parts of the game of Dota 2, because you basically make the other team reveal their hand and then you can do whatever you want to respond to it. So essentially the concept is to just have a very active information gathering process and to rapidly pick up stuff that is happening on your screen and on the minimap. I think it would be really cool actually to see how much of my vision was on the minimap during that team fight, because I know that I spend a lot of time watching minimap. That's how I know that the Pangolier is running in there. And so with the majors and minors coming up soon, I'm sure that there will be a tournament that has face cams for the players, and you should just pay attention to where their eyes are. You'll see a lot of the time they'll make this sort of circuit where they're like looking directly ahead, and then they'll look at their items and their abilities, and then they'll look up, and then they'll look over at the minimap, and then they'll look over here, and then they'll look at the shop, and they'll look at the minimap, and you'll just see that their eyes are constantly moving across, and they're always checking the minimap over and over and over and over and over, because the minimap is such a huge piece of information gathering. And then when you are actively looking for this information, you want to keep just a running tally of the cooldowns and sort of a general idea of how much health and mana people have, and clicking on them definitely helps. But when a fight is super chaotic, just kind of count off, okay, that was an ultimate that was used, and that was a winner's curse, and that was a save. And then you just have an idea of what the actual full picture of the fight is, and you can decide, is this a good fight or is this a bad fight? And it's really just as simple as that. So thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let me know what else might be giving you trouble in these mid and late game team fights.